Hi, Leo. Alright, welcome to this place if you're new here. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome to my Christmas extravaganza. I love Christmas lights. I love when there's light in the dark. Alright, so Leo, welcome to this place again if you're new here. Welcome back if you're returning. Merry Christmas. We're going to actually choose some bones for you. Actually, a Leo homegirl made this pouch for me. It holds all the magic bits. Let's see, Leo. Not yet. Leo, okay. Ooh. What's that? Oh, a magic marble. Okay, so releasing some kind of old... You fix something with Mars, so like, some of you fix something with a man. Because if you're a man, it's your own manhood as well. In addition to others. Let's see, Leo. Leo. For December. We'll pick some letters, too. Used to do that all the time when we started. What are we holding? Turkey vulture. Yeah, something's lighter than it was before. There's also some kind of direction right now. Some kind of new direction. And no longer having the need to speak about things that Capricorn talked about, this like fighting tooth and nail with something. This is one of my teeth. Teeth stones. It's actually really beautiful. Oh, some of you have a cavity you don't know about either. But to me, this is showing someone who's really strong in what they do. Like they, it's like regardless of what they're going through, it's like they know their direction. They know, someone's really looking at things optimistically also. Do you want to see the stones? Let me try to turn on a light so you can see a little better. Hold on. Too bright. Let's see if you can see these stones. Okay. Is that too bright? Hold on a second. Oh. Yes, no, maybe. So the inside answer is yes. This is your power too. Like, again, there's more clarity and direction. Or like, someone had to really dig into something. Hold on. I like that we're always doing something different with you. Just a second. That's enough for now. What have we been holding? H. So we kind of have the word Yule. Let's see what we got going on here. Lots of E's. A lot of vowels. So we have glue. And we have rope. Suppose we also have hope. There's also extra. So a person has, if we have glue and we have rope, what are we talking about? That means that there's different these are both helpers, right? It helps two things come together, stay together. Even when two pieces of rope, say a rope is cut, you can tie a rope back together, but you can't glue a rope back together. You know, kind of like we can't go back in time and change what it was, but we can be with that feeling if we want to. I heard if it makes us feel good, we can be with that feeling. We can be with that, even that which has been disconnected from. And that in and of itself can give us hope. Someone also received a gift that they didn't understand at some point. This is a powerful... You have this really powerful tooth, too. Is that too bright? Hold on. Yeah, that's better. You have this really powerful tooth also. So, Leo, what do we got going on here? Let's pick a few more cards. Let's see. Ancestor love. Faith tested. And two families. Huh. Leo. So someone's trying to keep something together, right? Someone's trying to keep something together. I suppose if both sides want to be together, then there's support around it. If you're in a position, Leo, where you are the only one doing something in relation to other people, like you're carrying all the responsibility, you're the one trying to fix all the problems, whoever is doing all this, I heard you might want to step back a little bit. This card has been so strong this month. Scorpio had this card. You know, somebody also knows the secret of relationships, like how to keep it together. You know, it reminds me of, who is that, Outcast? Where it's just like, our grandparents, like, if only we knew what our grandparents knew and how they kept it together. I mean, we don't need to get into whether everything was healthy. It's more about, because nothing is always perfect. But what we're talking about is that which can weather the storm. You know what I mean? That which can, it's not like this ultimatum, like whether or not energy. It's like, I heard, it's not whether or not. It's whether we're traveling together. And as it seems to be a collective thing, Virgo had it, Scorpio had it, now you have it, is who are the remarkable men and women and children in your life. And the extending or maintaining that you've been doing, I feel like has growth around it, meaning there's some sort of reward for for your organization, for your even ability to relax, right? Sometimes it's hard when the water is low. Do you know what I mean? So I guess this also shows me that on both sides of you that created you, there's love around that. And maybe there was an Aquarius in the family or an Aries. Some kind of fire. I see Aquarius and then it's like air and fire and water. I also feel like some of you, if you can, take a nap this month. I know that's wicked hard for you, right? Take a nap. You know, better to rest like that instead of like coming down. I see someone like on E, you know what I mean? Like really low on gas. It's just like running on fumes. Don't push yourself like that this month, because I mean, sometimes you got to, but I keep seeing someone where they have a lot of bags. Maybe there's some kind of travel energy, but I feel like it's more of, you're gonna get more gusto if you give it just a little bit, right? It doesn't take much to stop at the gas, to notice that you're on empty, to put aside what you were doing, to do the thing to fill the tank, right? Oh, I'm going to go a little bit. All right, I was doing this. I noticed that. Okay, going down the road. Where's the closest place I can do that? Get there. And how long does it take to pump gas if you're like on empty? Let's say literally speaking. What is it? 2 minutes of just like standing there quiet, or like being still and being quiet. I feel like that little bit is going to do so much. A little bit of faith goes, like a little bit of something goes a long way. I also feel like there could be something that a person feels like they're missing. But it's something that no longer, it was a weak point. It was a weak point, the thing that someone doesn't have anymore. I do feel like someone needs to go to the dentist. Or that's important. This Saturn energy, that's important. I don't know, maybe somebody needs to get a tooth pulled, or maybe they need to get a tooth filled again, or like there's some, but what other words do we have? I suppose there is a hole in something. If you've been grieving something for a really long time, and it's kind of got a hold on you. I don't know if this is if you're grieving like your ex or like someone who's actually passed on, whatever you're grieving that is no longer here, whether positive or negative, I feel like if it's been a while, it may be time to, like, even if it's already been buried, right? Even if it's already been dealt with in some kind of way, maybe there needs to be like another ceremony to acknowledge where a person is now, so that you know, it's almost like, you ever had to dig a grave? You know, or like dig a hole? It takes a lot of effort to dig a hole. And maybe you just want to put something precious in there. This is also some kind of like deep looking into something, you know? Two families to me is also kind of a drama card. Ancestral energy is very family. This could be like a dueling energy, or like a dual sort of energy. I'd also say whoever's not meant to be your peer, it feels like an empty relationship anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, you'll know, we can have peers, right? That a peer is, what is a peer technically? Is that technically just someone who's our own age, around our age, averagely? Peer into the hole. What's in there? Let's choose a few more letters to close this out. It's just 1717 for good measure, Leo. Leo. Sorry for the loud. Can't really do it quietly. That's enough. Okay. A foal. So a young horse, like that's a brand new horse, right? Foal. There's a pug. So we get a dog and a horse and a dog. Huh. Horses are usually pretty skittish of dogs. They're not really, it's different energy, right? I guess there's also, we also have goal. I like that. PU. I heard, who's poo-pooing your goals? Are you? Well, instead of PU, I guess we could go up. I heard it takes a lot to be the kicker. Right? It takes a lot to be the kicker. Breathe. Breathe, chosen ones. It takes a lot to be the kicker, right? Takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Watch the tower bells. Oh, this is funny, Leo. This came in your other reading earlier. This Who Cares crew. Here, you come back up for a sec. This Who Cares crew, which is my homegirl Allie's. Leo, hi Allie, I love you if you're watching this. Who Cares crew. You know, somebody obviously doesn't give two shits about what somebody else thinks about them. It's like Aries said. It's like, I ain't gonna feel guilty for being happy. I'm not gonna change who I am, or try to talk about all the things that are dark and heavy because I'm not feeling it right now. Sometimes there's a time and a place for it. But the happy isn't meant to change, isn't going to change itself for somebody else, and it ain't trying to prove anything to anybody either. You know what I mean? Goal up. So I guess you want, what's the next step in your goals? Watch the tower bells again. What's the next step in your goals? I don't feel like, this has been kind of collective, but I don't really feel like this month is for like, excuse me for the like, just a second. It seems to be collectively through these readings that there are things to be done and can be accomplished very much so in this time frame. But when we're talking about bigger shifts and things like that, stepping into brand new things or back into something that we did before, you know, learning a new thing, stepping in the pool again, it's like, I feel like now is a time of remembering, right? It's remembrance. Jupiter is in retrograde until the end of the year. So it's kind of suiting to like be in the, it's not about stagnancy. It's just about acknowledging where a person is so that when it's the time to move forward, everything's on point. And I do feel like a person is getting more tooth about something, like they're getting stronger about something, although sometimes this tooth is where people have sharp words. But I also feel like this is an old conversation, but if anyone is hanging on to what someone has said in ways of what doesn't feel good or what makes you angry or frustrated or whatever, I feel like you really, there's no point in holding that because the other side is, it. What do they say? Like, this is for somebody. It's like holding on to anger or resentment or whatever, like just bitter energy. What happens? Well, it makes the blood bitter, firstly, which diminishes actual happiness. But anger is and those kinds of things is kind of like swallowing poison and hoping that the other person, it affects the other person. It doesn't. Basically, I see someone not being affected by someone else's negative energy at all. Like, it definitely, I heard, is washed away. And because someone finally figured out, like, their claws, or, like, they figured out their power and, like, how to not, like, someone's, how do I see this? Well, I'm thinking about somebody else. Someone else came to mind. The crew. Who's in your crew? Who's on your team? Who is it when you would call them, they would be there in a hot second to help you? Who is that? Who was that? You know, who is it when, like, you needed someone to talk to about what was going on with you, or you would actually, like, share your what's on your heart? You know, maybe some of you need that, or maybe some of you are missing that person if you feel like you don't have that right now. I mean, you have it no matter what, but if it's not in your vicinity, then you gotta put your energy in different places. Leo. Two families, ancestral love and faith tested. This could also be where maybe someone proposes to somebody too. Side note. This could also be where someone proposes to somebody and they're like, oh my God. Or maybe there's like a first introduction. Like one, right? Two families. It's like there's some kind of new introduction. And I guess that in and of itself is like a little bit of faith being tested. Because even though the Who Cares crew, like, someone's not meant to give, like, care too much, like, worry too much about what someone else thinks. But I see that someone also wants to, there's like an old-fashioned energy with this in addition. Like, someone wants to be accepted, but they're not really worried. The acceptance is out of respect, not out of admiration. Does that make sense? Oh, there's a cat. Tanzanite? Tanzanite. And I don't remember what this used to mean to me. It used to have a very particular meaning. I actually found it in New Mexico, but it's a piece of coral. I found it way out in the desert. I got this arrowhead too. Huh. All right. I'm going to say that's that. Interesting reading. I don't know where we went there, but I hope that was helpful for somebody. Merry's Christmas, Leo, or whatever holy days you celebrate. It is always a pleasure to connect with you. Thank you for being so creative. I hope this, again, was helpful. We just pulled the card of romance and optimism. Maybe that's something that some of you will want to focus on. Or there's a lot of good energy around romance, growing in generosity, beautiful, and there's a lot of integrity and forgiveness. So whether you're forgiving someone else or forgiving yourself, I don't know. I heard maybe you just want to wrap up these little, I just saw someone wrapping up things, you know, like the finishing touches on things before we start this new year. And what are some of your goals in the future, you know? How are you looking at next year? It's not about these huge resolutions or things that you have to be so definitive stamp on it, but it's just like, how are you seeing that? Do you think that it'll just be... We just talked about this humility over on Patreon. It's, I heard, how do you want to change as a person? Okay. Well, thank you again for being here. Merry's Christmas. I plugged in both the lights because I felt like it. Oh, speaking of Christmas, if you've been over to Patreon, or if you're a part of that place, thank you so much for taking that extra step. It's so beautiful to see people initiate their own growth through education. I mean, that's already happening by you being here, but to take those extra steps for yourself and to, you know, it's kind of, well, take some balls sometimes to put things in order, to be like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to support that. I want to be a part of that. And see, you know, and we're all allowed to try things out. And anyway, there's some awesome folks over there. So if you're a part of that place, thank you. Speaking of that, if you haven't seen it already, I am sending out my Holy Day cards this year. So if you're a Timeless Traveler or a Secret Supporter, those two tiers, you can receive a Holy Day card, which I actually started creating today. Because I got most people have already sent their addresses or confirmed what I already had. But either way, if you're a part of that place, then and you would like a card and you haven't seen it, there, that post will tell you how to go about that. Either way, I wish you the best Christmas, and I thank you for a powerful year. You know, I get it. Your energy is so positive, and you're so forgiving and understanding and open-minded, and you really just, to me, Leo energy is very inspirational. And I thank you. You know, I thank you for not giving up. You know, there was a few times this year I know I wanted to give up. There were some hard points this year. I mean, like any year, but this year was particularly, it had a good chunk in it. And I thank you for your support in that. You know, I thank you for being a part of this place and not giving up and figuring out what's right for you, you know, and what's just like, meh. You know, like what suits you, you know, who your friends are, like, have faith in yourself. Oh, there's a zoomy hair in there. Awesome. Oh, there's something about May. And Ween. Okay. Talk to you later, Leo. Peace out.